Hello beautiful kittens, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I have a lot of new subscribers, so I thought I would personally introduce you. My name is KinKade, and welcome for subscribing. Okay. Welcome to my channel, and thank you so much for subscribing. You have no idea how much that means to me. Like, we jumped so much. So welcome to the kitten family. Wear those cat ears with pride and meow like crazy, because I'm a freak. I mean, obviously, I don't know, whatever. So today is going to be another story time, kind of a crazy story time, about my crazy roommate. He was a guy, and he was crazy. For a lot of bad reasons, he was crazy. Not so much like psycho girl crazy, but more like just crazy in his sporadic behavior and the things that he did. And I will explain all of that. If you would like to know, just continue watching. So we're going to call this guy Dragon Breath, because it's funny to imagine him blowing fire out of his mouth. Like, just imagine like a dude breathing fire like a dragon. It amuses me. Picturing him like that makes me less likely to want to kill him. So I'm just going to call him Dragon Breath. So I met Dragon Breath in 2012. 2012, because that's when I met my husband. He first came up to me, like, through my line. I used to work at Walmart. I'm sure I'll probably make story time about that. I can't fucking talk. A story time about that at some point in the future. Not that, like, anything bad happened. It's just, I have, like, tales from Walmart, so I'm sure I'll be making tales from Walmart. So this guy, Dragon Breath, comes through my line. I didn't know that he was my husband's friend at the time. They were like best friends until all the shit that I'm about to tell you happened. So Dragon Breath comes through my line, and he seems nice. I ring him up and everything, and he goes, "So you're Mana, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, my name tag says my name." And he's like, "Are you the girl that my husband is talking about?" And I'm like, I'm sure he talks about me. And he's like, "Well, nice to meet you. My name is Dragon Breath." And so that's how I met him. And once I got off, because around that time I got off work, my husband was working at the same time. That's how we met. We met at Walmart. I'm sure I'll include that too in Tales from Hellmart. My husband got off around the same time as, I think, a little bit later, like maybe an hour. So I was just going to wait around because of my shitty parent situation, my husband would take me to and from work all the time because my parents refused to do anything at all for me. Except my grandma. My grandma tried her best. But aside from that, my husband would take me to and from work. And so I waited around with Dragon Breath and got to know him. And I could tell that I was not his cup of tea because I'm obnoxious and loud and really goofy, especially when I first meet somebody. Not in like large groups, because like I said, I have severe group anxiety. Fuck my butt. Severe group anxiety. But it was just me and him and whatever. So I'm goofy and normal. Well, as normal as I could be for Amana. As normal as I could possibly fucking be. And I was making jokes with him, and he was kind of joking back, but he has different humor than me. So that is how I met Dragon Breath. Come to find out that Dragon Breath had a girlfriend, and I think I'm not gonna, like, she's not a part of the story really, so I'm not really gonna mention her name. She's just my friend. The two exes he has are my friends, so, like, we're still friends. I don't really want to include them. There's, like, nothing to talk about with them. Like, they're not the reason he's crazy, so there's really no reason to bring them up. But I met her, and, you know, the two of them were really good friends with my husband. So they were just kind of scoping me out, because this was before me and my husband started, like, officially dating. We were just getting to know each other, sort of. And back in 2012, like October time frame, 2012. So that was my introduction to Dragon Breath and the girl. And I find out they're dating and all that stuff. And I think, okay, cool, whatever. Fast forward to December, me and my husband start dating. And then comes January 2013 is when my husband tells me that Dragon Breath, the girl, and him want to get an apartment, and they were wondering if I wanted to join in on that. And at first I was, hesitant because I never moved out before. I was about to turn 19, like, I wasn't sure. But I ended up going anyway, because, my mom, like, I was like, "Get me the fuck out of this house." Because that was the reason my husband got the apartment, was to get me out of my mom's house, because she is crazy. He got me out of that situation. I know, just side notes, whatever. So he gets me, and we go, and everything seems fine. I really haven't met Dragon Breath that much. I hung out with the girl several times. But Dragon Breath I hung out with maybe like once or twice. So, I mean, I didn't really get to know him at all. I did hang out with his girlfriend and him at their old house before they moved in. But, you know, that's the extent. I mean, when I moved in, you know, I played video games. I still play video games. His girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, doesn't play video games. But me and him would talk about video games along with my husband. We don't talk about video games. And so we kind of would talk over that and whatnot. And then I started realizing that even when his girlfriend wasn't home, he would bring girls over. Yeah, he would bring a lot of girls over. And they were always random people. Like, we didn't know them. And it was just really weird to have, like, a random girl, like, every few days come to the apartment and, like, spend the night. And it was always when his girlfriend was out working late. So she wouldn't know, or she was elsewhere and she wouldn't know, like at her mom's house or something. Like, she wouldn't know. I didn't get involved just because it's not really my place to, like, butt in. And I'm pretty sure that the girl knew. Actually, she did know. Like, she knew the entire time. I don't think about it. So that was the first red flag, was Mr. I'm a fuckboy. I'm going to bring over every girl I can possibly get my hands on. Because, you know, he was on dating apps and whatever. And I mean, if that's your game, you know, that's fine. Just don't cheat. Because he was a serial cheater, and that just is uncomfortable. Especially when, like, you're bringing a bunch of chicks that we don't know over and, like, don't really ask. You just bring them over. So that was the first really strange thing. The second thing is he never really wanted to do anything, like, with cleaning. He just wanted to work and come home and fuck girls. Like, he didn't really clean anything. He expected me to, like, do everything. He would leave pots with, like, food in them, like, sitting out in the living room, and they would go rotten, which, I mean, that's not really a crazy behavior thing, obviously. That's just you're a shit-tastic roommate kind of thing. He cleaned when my husband would get up his ass and bitch, but if I got up his ass and asked him to clean, he would give me sass. I remember he told me that he wanted to get some rats, and so my friend gave me some rats because she couldn't take care of them, and I was like, oh, I have the perfect person to take your rats. I got the rats for this guy, for Dragon Breath. I gave him the rats and, you know, played with them and whatever. I played with them too because, you know, they were cute and they were adorable, and he didn't take care of them at all. He left them in their cage to, like, basically rot. And he never cleaned out their cage, really. Their cage was always covered in poop, and it would smell really bad. And so he was going to give them away without, like, telling me, like, really, I'm going to give the rats away, because I was going to give them back to the friend I got them from if he was just going to do that, because we couldn't keep them at that time. So I gave them back, obviously, to my friend, and I apologized for that and how they were mistreated, because they really were mistreated. They were just ignored and left in the cage to rot. Poor things. And then he wanted to get a fucking dog. He wanted to get a dog and leave it in their room all day. Like, if you can't take care of rats, what the fuck makes you think you're going to take care of a dog? I knew that when he said that, it was going to be my responsibility to take care of his damn dog. I was going to have to take care of his dog. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put, like, a dog through abuse like that. And I'm not going to put a dog through that. A dog doesn't belong in this tiny ass apartment anyway. Like, no thank you, poor dog. Me and my husband put our foot down on that, because we didn't want a dog to go through what the rats did all over again. I actually remember towards the end of us living there, when he and the girl broke up, without asking, he was going to bring the girl over, because me and my husband were having an issue with the girl at the time. He was basically telling us that he was going to bring the girl over no matter what we said. And so I left the situation altogether and I went elsewhere because I didn't want to be in that situation. But it was very much I'm only going to do what I want to do and fuck you, basically. Like, he very much only did what he wanted to do. He was never a team player. So that's a bit of a backstory on him. I believe that is everything that's important. Like, all the big things he did other than fuck a lot of girls and do literally nothing. Here comes the fucked up shit, is when we left and stopped communicating with him altogether. This is where the weird shit happens. So in February 2014, my husband and I got a house and moved out. We were going to get married a little bit later. We got married in June of 2014. I almost said 2015. In June 2014. So we moved out of that apartment. Technically, they moved out first. Another girl that he got with, who was also my friend, who, if you watch this, hi, actually, I know you're going to watch this because you're subscribed. Hi, I love you. You're pretty and everything. I love you. So they moved out, and me and my husband left about 2 months later, so we had the apartment to ourselves for 2 months. We moved into the house in March 2014. I cannot speak dates, apparently. In March 2014, we moved into the house that I am in now. Just us. Although I did have a roommate, but she's not crazy. So we didn't hear from him for quite a while. I think he tried to play a game with my husband once, and I think maybe they did play a game once, and that was about it, because they have each other on like Steam and stuff, well, they had each other on Steam and stuff, and so that was probably the extent of communication. He didn't really talk to me, which is fine, because I kind of, at that point, ended up blocking him on like everything, just because I was really tired of his shit. To be honest, I was just tired of his, like, I don't give a fuck attitude, and I'm gonna treat everyone like shit because I can attitude. Like, I just don't deal well with those types of people, and I didn't really want to associate with him, so I didn't. And he was especially an ass towards me when my husband wasn't around. Like, he would be like, I'm basically gonna do whatever I want, and, you know, get really verbal about it. He wasn't, like, threatening or anything. He was just an ass to me, and so he would only do it when he wasn't around, though. Like, he would wait until my husband would leave or go to work, and then he would... I just did my best to ignore him and stay out of his way, for the most part. But I'm gonna say the beginning of June 2014, I get a text from a number, and he says, or this number says, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. I just wanted to know if I ever hurt you when we were in the apartment. And I'm like, oh, it's Dragon Breath. And I'm like, no, you never did. I mean, yeah, you were an asshole, but I mean, that's about it. And he goes, okay, I was just checking. And then that was it. So I said, okay, that's cool. And he replies back and says, I need to tell you something. I feel guilty about something. And I'm like, oh dear, what did you do? He says, are you all ready for this shit? I don't think you're ready for this shit. Get sat the fuck down. He tells me that he took a phone I had before I had the one that I had actually in the apartment. I had a burner phone, not a burner phone, as in like I did something bad, I'm gonna throw my phone away. I mean like a Go phone type of like cellular device that had pictures on it, because it was what I was using before I got my actual phone from like Metro or whatever. Which was a piece of shit. I probably would have stuck with the burner phone. Like, it was probably better. It was really tiny. And my horrible Metro piece of shit one was pretty big. With a big screen. I like big screens. And he tells me that he took my blue burner phone that has pictures of me on it, took them off my phone, and he uses them to masturbate. And he's like, please don't tell your husband. And I said, I'm not going to tell him, because there was more. So I was like, tell me everything, bitch. Like, spill the beans, because that's fucking creepy. And he tells me that ever since we were in the apartment, he wanted to fuck me. He kept staring at me and would jack off to me. And he basically was wanting to get with me. And I said, you know, I'm getting married in a week to your best friend. So that's not going to happen, bro. But thanks for telling me. And he said, I still have your pictures on my computer. I use them every now and then. And I said, you will get rid of them? And he's like, okay, I will. Do I really believe that he got rid of them? No, honey, I do not. And then he has the balls to ask me to send him nudes. He's like, I want some nudes. He knows I'm about to get married. Like, I just told him that. And now he's telling me that he wants me to send him some fucking nudes. Because he likes how my boobs look. Because apparently he saw my boobs, and so he wants my boobs. And I'm like, when my husband finds out, he's going to hunt you down and cut your dick off. Like, holy shit, bro. And I'm like, I'm not gonna give you nudes. Like, there are plenty of other females out there. Go watch porn. Like, shit. There's plenty of free porn out there. Just go get some porn. Like, you don't need me. Jesus Christ. So that ended that, because he realized that he done fucked up, and so we stopped texting, and I told my husband, I stayed up like all night because I was like shaking because of the fact that this dude took pictures off my phone to jack off to them. Like, who the fuck does that? Honest to God. A fucking roommate was secretly masturbating to me the entire time and a douche to me to cover that shit up. Like, oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. But it doesn't end there. Oh, hell no. So I told my husband, and my husband got really pissed off, like, obviously. And therefore has cut complete contact with Dragon Breath ass cunt for, obvious reasons. And so that leads into February 2015. I think it was January, February 2015. I remember it was cold. Oh boy. And so, I get a text from a random number, and it says, I got your name from a Craigslist ad saying that you used to model. Can you do a modeling thing for me? Or do you want to do a modeling thing for me? And so I replied, and I'm like, who told you I used to model? Because I did used to model. I used to be like fucking skinny and severely underweight. And I used to model. I mean, I probably would still model once I'm able to lose weight because of my leg and all that. I'll probably model again, but not very many people know I used to model. Like, it's not, I don't talk about it because, like, I don't do it anymore. I don't know if I would. I mean, I might. I don't know. So it's not something I talk about. So I can't imagine, like, who I told. And I was confused, like, who did I tell that would know? And I'm like, well, I never made a Craigslist ad because why would I do that? That's like asking to get killed. Like, my husband would never allow that. He would kill me first before he let some murderer kill me. Like, that's not how that works. I was confused. I had no idea how the fuck Ola, this guy, got this information. So I'm trying to, like, press him for information, and he's not giving me, like, any information at all. It's really weird. He just tells me that he does this modeling thing, and I asked him to send me some, like, samples because I'm, like, super curious now. And he sends me a picture of a girl I don't know. Now, do I know that he took this picture? He didn't just take it from, like, Google or whatever, because this was before I was smart enough to, like, reverse Google search images. But, she was pretty and all, and it looked like a legit, probably taken by a photographer type of thing. And I said, oh, that's pretty. And he kept asking me, like, do you want to do it? I do nudes, too. I will not ever do nudes for modeling. Ever. Not that I think that I'm fat or something, because I'm conceited. I just am. Like, I don't give a fuck about my weight anymore. Like, I think I'm fine the way I am. Like, I don't have any self-conscious issues. I will get naked in front of literally anybody, but it's just like, he said, you're gonna have to do nudes. And I said, well, I don't really want to do nudes. But, we were talking, I was just trying to get information. He ended up giving me, like, I don't know if it was his number we looked up, but we were, like, super curious if it was Dragon Breath, like, acting like a modeler person with a new number, trying to get me to, like, send him nudes. So we were trying to figure out who this person was. So I think we either reversed. We either looked up the number, or I think it was the number, and it was really close to where Dragon Breath lived, which then made me think it was Dragon Breath. And I continued to think that was Dragon Breath for quite a while. I mean, obviously I didn't take him up on that offer because sketch, and plus my husband was like, hell to the fuck no. Hell to the fuck no. Escape. Hit escape, hit delete, nope. And so, after the end of 2015, the first girl, she probably won't watch this, but the first ex-girlfriend, she, I think, was talking to my husband and told him almost the exact same thing happened to her, which is really strange. Like, the exact same weird thing happened to her. Like, this guy messaging her, asking her, yeah, she used to model, because we both used to model. But, like, who knows that? I mean, obviously, Dragon Breath would know that she used to model because they had dated, but, I mean, me, like, I may have relayed that information, or maybe she did, I'm not sure. But she was getting the exact same thing, which is another red flag, but she confirmed it wasn't Dragon Breath, but it was Dragon Breath's doing. He was the one that put up this ad and was talking to people and giving our numbers away, which is why I changed my number, was because, for one, the dude wouldn't leave me the hell alone, and I didn't want another creepy person messaging me and asking me to model for them and probably take me off and kill me and chop my head off. Like, no thank you. So I changed my number. Only hers went so much worse. Hers was worse. Like, it wasn't just this one guy. She had several men messaging her, calling her easy, and like calling her a whore and sending her like unsolicited dick pics. And she could not get it to stop for a while. She has a restraining order against him. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I did. I don't know. Don't kill me, friend, if you actually do see this. I'm sorry. It was really bad, and we have no real conclusion other than we know that he has done this to most of the girls that he dated or knows. It's not just his exes, it's me too. I never dated them. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot fucking pole, but he does it to all of his girls that he knows. Because he did it to another girl, that's my friend that he knows. Did it to her too. Not the modeling thing, but would relentlessly bother her or send people to go bother her. It's really disgusting, to be honest. But I have not heard from him since. I don't think I have. Other than people trying to add me on Facebook that are clearly fake accounts, and that still happens to all of us, like all the girls. Like, it happens 24/7. And if it's a fake account with like hardly any friends and I don't know you, I'm not going to add you on Facebook. I obviously don't accept, and my stuff is all private. My stuff is all private except for like my YouTube stuff or whatever. But I don't want him like creeping on my shit or finding out where I live or whatever, because heaven forbid. Oh God. And so that concludes like this half of the story, because I mean there are other fuckboy issues that I've had, not like a lot of them, because I've been taken for most of my life, like with my husband. So, I mean, I haven't had very many issues like that, but I had another one, and that one is fucking insane too. Not as bad as this, but thank you so much for listening. And I know that there really isn't a conclusion, but if he ever does anything else, I will be guaranteed to tell you, because I'm sure that I'm pretty sure Dragon Breath, she is waiting to attack at any moment. Like, I would not be surprised, because he loves bothering people, especially us. He just does. I guess he like enjoys crawling back in our lives and being really pissy and annoying. Like, so thank you so much for watching, and if you like this, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, because that's important. And also click that bell down there, because you'll get notified when I upload. And I love you guys so much. I'm sorry that wasn't really much of a conclusion. I kind of feel like shit for that, but what can you do? He didn't like fall off a cliff and die, so in the end, he died. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and I love you, beautiful kittens.